What if some of the most valued remedies in history still growing wild today completely overlooked? For centuries, before modern medicine, people relied on plants, not out of choice, but necessity. And while we've gained incredible medical advances, we've also lost traditional knowledge that took generations to develop. Today, we're exploring 5 medieval medicinal plants that were trusted throughout history and what modern research tells us about them now. This is educational only. Always consult a qualified healthcare professional before using any plant medicinally. Let's begin. First up, Calendula, also called pot marigold. These bright orange flowers were carried by medieval soldiers not for decoration, but for survival. When far from medical help, calendula was applied to wounds to help prevent infection and support healing. Why did they trust it? The flowers contain compounds called triterpenoids and flavonoids. Modern clinical studies suggest calendula may help support tissue repair and has been traditionally used for minor skin irritation. A 2013 review noted its historical use for wound care. But here's what's critical. This is not a substitute for proper wound care. Serious wounds need professional medical attention. Calendula was a field remedy when nothing else was available, not a replacement for modern emergency medicine. Asterisk, but calendula wasn't the only plant medieval healers kept close to. Next, comfrey, historically called knitbone for centuries. Comfrey was applied externally to support the healing of sprains, bruises, and strained muscles. The plant contains a compound called allantoin, which some research suggests may support cell proliferation. Several modern studies have examined topical comfrey preparations for joint and muscle discomfort. However, and this is extremely important, comfrey contains pyrrolizidine alkaloids that can be harmful to the liver if taken internally. Comfrey should never be ingested, external use only, and even then, it should not be applied to broken skin or used long-term without guidance from a healthcare provider. Medieval people didn't have the chemical analysis we do today, so we now know how to use it more safely. Asterisk, while comfrey worked on injuries you could see, the next plant targeted something invisible. Asterisk third. Mullein. This tall plant with fuzzy leaves and yellow flower spikes grows wild across roadsides and empty lots. Medieval herbalists turned to mullein for respiratory complaints, coughs, chest congestion, and bronchial irritation. The leaves contain compounds called saponins that traditionally were thought to act as expectorants, potentially helping the body clear mucus. Some ethnobotanical sources describe its historical use for respiratory support, but let's be very clear. Respiratory infections can become serious quickly. Difficulty breathing, high fever, or persistent cough requires immediate medical evaluation. Mullein was used historically when professional care wasn't available. It's not appropriate for serious respiratory conditions today. If you're interested in traditional respiratory herbs, consult with a qualified herbalist or healthcare provider first. But respiratory issues weren't the only invisible threat medieval people faced. Number 4. Yarrow. This plant earned the name soldier's herb for a reason. Yarrow was applied to bleeding wounds on battlefields across history. The plant contains compounds that some research suggests may have hemostatic properties, meaning they may help slow bleeding. Traditional use involved crushing fresh yarrow leaves and applying them directly to cuts. Modern studies have examined its traditional uses for wound care and inflammation. Critical safety note: this is historical information only. For any significant bleeding or injury, seek emergency medical care immediately. Yarrow was a battlefield expedient, not a replacement for proper trauma care. Never delay emergency treatment to try plant remedies. Understanding these historical practices helps us appreciate how people survived, but we have far better options today. While yarrow addressed wounds, the final plant tackled something even more fundamental. And finally, Meadowsweet, the plant that inspired aspirin. Before synthetic pain relievers existed, medieval healers used meadowsweet for discomfort, fever, and inflammation. The flowers and leaves contain salicylates, the same family of compounds that led to aspirin's development. When chemists first synthesized aspirin in the late 1800s, they derived it from salicylic acid found in plants like meadowsweet. Interestingly, traditional herbalists also use meadowsweet for digestive complaints, while modern aspirin can irritate the stomach. Some researchers suggest the whole plant may have had a more balanced effect than the isolated compound. Important: this is historical context only. If you're considering any pain management approach, including herbal options, discuss it with your healthcare provider, especially if you take medications or have health conditions. Meadowsweet shows us how traditional knowledge and modern science can inform each other but never replace professional medical guidance. So there you have it, 5 plants that medieval medicine relied upon. From calendula for wounds to meadowsweet for pain. These weren't miracle cures, but practical tools people used when they had few alternatives. Here are 3 key takeaways. First, traditional knowledge represents generations of observation. It deserves respect and careful study, not blind adoption. Second, historical use doesn't equal safety or effectiveness for modern application. Always verify with current research and professional guidance. And third, understanding plant history enriches our appreciation for both where medicine came from and how far we've come. Remember, this video is educational only and is not medical advice. Never attempt to identify, harvest, or use wild plants without expert verification. Misidentification can be extremely dangerous. Always consult qualified healthcare professionals for any health concerns. If you found this historical exploration interesting, subscribe for more deep dives into forgotten knowledge. Drop a comment which historical plant remedy surprised you most. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Asterisk, 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 asterisk.